Hello, and welcome to the Getting Things screencast, Episode 2, An Introduction to Things by Cultured Code, Part 2. So last time we learned how to get stuff from our brain into things. Now I want to show you how things facilitates the 4 Ds. If you're new to GTD, the 4 Ds are really just what I have here. If you get a task, you want to either do it, defer it, delegate it, or delete it. And I want to talk a little bit about how things can help you manage those things. So, first of all, I have my inbox here and I'm going to go through it and process it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I see this thing that I need to do. Now, I can either check it off here in my inbox and you'll see that it turns gray, or I can say that I really just need to do it today, which is sort of a between deferring and doing, but it's something that we want to do. So I'm going to put that in the today box. You'll see that it's here, it's lit up in gold, and if you go to next, it's also there. Now, when I go back to my inbox, I can defer something. I can put that next, which means it's not something I want to do today, but it's something I want to do as soon as I can. Or I can take that, put it in the someday box, which is sort of an idea where you don't know when you're going to be able to get to it, but you'd like to do it sometime. Or you can schedule it. Now, this basically gives you the opportunity to pick a start date, a date that you would like to get started on this. So let's say I'm going to pick a week. And I'm going to have it automatically move to today. You'll notice in the schedule box that it has this little star here. That means it's going to move to today. If we reschedule, and I make it highlight, see that star disappear. What that means is when next Wednesday comes up, I'm going to see a little red 1 here instead of it being in the today box. I tend to prefer things to be in today, so I rarely use highlighting, but it's up to you. Now we have another task that we need to delegate. Now, there's a built-in way to do this, which is drag it to people. You'll see that now this is delegated to Jason. It's not in my next list. It's not in my today list. It's not in any of my lists. It's delegated to Jason. Now, I don't like this because whenever I search for Jason, it's not there. I prefer to delegate in another way. Let's drag this back to the inbox so that we can process it again. I prefer to tag this and say Jason person. You could even tag it with delegated. Now I'll set this in next. That way I can keep up with it. I may even want to schedule it so that I can be reminded of it at some point in the future. But now, when I search for Jason, it appears. Or I can search for all of my delegated items. The other thing that you may want to do is delete something. Now, it may seem odd that I would spend time talking about deletion, but there's 2 ways you can delete. You may have a mistake, in which case you can just hit delete and it's gone. But you also may want to cancel an item, which means you want to keep track of the fact that you didn't do it. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do that. In items, you can mark it as canceled, or you can hold down the option key while you check it off, and you'll see that it's now canceled. Now, when I log my items, which I do by hitting Command L, or you can go to log completed now, you'll see in your logbook that there's this thing to delete and it's canceled. And when I check this item off in To Do, and I log it, you'll see it here as well. Now I can look back in my review next week and keep track of the things that I've done and the things I haven't done. That pretty much concludes the episode. Hope you'll tune in next time when we'll be discussing managing your to-do list, which will include scheduled items and due items.